Welcome everyone to this week's Walk on Water moment. And today I have a beautiful guest with me, and today's guest is Sandra Beck. And Sandra is all the way from LA in the US, and it's lovely to have Sandra here. And I know she's got a fabulous wow moment to share with us today. So welcome, Sandra.
Hi, Geraldine. It's nice to see you.
And it's great to see you. So Sandra, we're going to get straight into it. So would you like to share with our viewers and listeners for today, what was your walk on water moment?
Geraldine, for the last 8 years, I have worked really hard in my business to recover from some personal challenges. I went through a very, very difficult divorce. My mother died. I went through a foreclosure, all while raising really small children, like 3 months old and 2.5 years old, and doing it 3,000 miles away from my family. So it was a really challenging time for myself. And as I worked with you, you gave me guidance and direction, and you gave me a lot of validation and comfort and support along with it, which I'm really appreciative of. But most importantly, you provided me direction. And about 18 months ago, we did a coaching session, you and I, and you directed me. Now, I had a choice to make. I had a choice that I could take my money hours, which are the hours that I have in the day after my kids, after my company stuff, to really focus on developing a new arm of my business. And that could have been in publishing, it could have been in coaching, and it could have been in radio. And what was funny is I was used to the publishing industry and I was used to the coaching industry. I wasn't that comfortable with the radio industry. And you did a reading for me. You worked with me and you said, without a shadow of a doubt, Sandra, you need to focus on radio. Radio is the area that you're going to really shine and is going to be very productive and abundant for you. This was against my comfort zone. And it required me to stretch a little bit. But when I did, Geraldine, that arm of my business outperformed all the other income strategies in my business. It actually performed better than anything I had done in the past decade.
Wow.
And in a very short span of time, in about 7 months, I made more money than I made in the last 3 years combined. Now, I would not have chosen that route, not by a long shot. I would have let fear hold me back. I would have gone to where I was familiar, gone to what I expected, and I would have ended up with what I expected. And instead, you helped me stretch and grow and try something new, which I did. And it not only wildly outperformed my expectations, but the wow moment.
Yes.
The accounts were paid through my PayPal. And I opened up my PayPal because I kept getting on my phone. It was going ding, ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. And I'm thinking, what is it? Do I have a virus? Is something going on? And it's like, deposit made, deposit made, deposit made.
Oh.
And I couldn't believe my eyes. And I sat there, Geraldine, looking at my cell phone thinking, this is insane. I have worked like a dog for 8 years to have a tenth of what was going on my phone. And then just to be sure, I got on my computer and I'm like checking. And then I transferred the balance to my bank account and I'm checking. And then I couldn't even believe it. I waited like 2 days. Then the money's in my account. And such a feeling of peace, of confidence, of wow. Just wow. And I called one of my friends and I took a picture of it and I said, you are the one person on the face of the earth that will recognize this is really big for me, because it was so much beyond the money. The money was great, don't get me wrong. I mean, that was really important and key. But the fact that I trusted someone, that I followed your intuition and your faith till I found my own in a completely new arena, and I knocked it out of the park.
Wow, Sandra. Well, I'm truly humbled by what you're saying, but how great is that? And what would you, in perhaps in even one or two words, how would you describe what was behind the aha, the walk on water moment?
I think what was behind it, Geraldine, was the way you taught me to put things out to the universe, how to rearrange what is going on out there and call to me not only what I need, but what I want. And this wasn't just some, I want a new car, I want a new phone, kind of little thing. I needed something that would be sustainable, that would allow me to create, that wouldn't eat up my time. I mean, I was really specific, Geraldine. You helped me be very, very specific on what I was calling to me and how I wanted the universe to rearrange things in my best interest. Because, Geraldine, I didn't run around and hustle for all this stuff. It came to me. Yeah. It came to me as an opportunity I would have passed on probably. But instead, I grabbed onto it with both hands, which is what you advised me to do. And it was the culmination, I think, of a lot of our work together.
Yes, yeah. And I'm not sure about you, Sandra, but I know for me that it's that trust and that willingness to allow things to unfold, rather than, because I think we're both a little the same, we like to make things happen. Kind of. But once you let that go, it just flows so easily and effortlessly. And that's what we're all looking for, really. So it's a fabulous way to go. So, Sandra, how has that affected you from that, from the moment you had that beautiful aha or that walk on water moment? How has that played out ongoing in an ongoing way in your life?
Well, it did a couple things, Geraldine. And, you brought up the word trust. And, I know this sounds really silly, but even with my mom's passing, that broke some trust. I had always trusted my mom would be there for me every step of the way in the physical realm. And I couldn't get my head around that I could trust that she would be there for me after she crosses over. I couldn't trust my own judgment. I had entered into a marriage and a partnership that left me in shambles, that was riddled with addiction and abuse. And I lost all my money. I lost a house. I mean,
yes,
talking some really massive trust issues here. And for me to trust someone, I mean, I don't even know how many thousands of miles away we are. We had never met in person up until after this.
Yes, yeah.
For me to trust someone who also told me, this isn't about how hard you work. This isn't about you pushing and maneuvering and creating and all this stuff. This is about allowing. That was not in my wheelhouse, in my comfort zone. They didn't teach that in business school. They taught us to go out and grab it.
Yes, yes.
So to ratchet this back, it allowed me to trust myself, to trust others, and to allow this goodness into my life, which I really believe I was blocking because I was so upset from those other circumstances.
Yeah, yeah. And we get to that point in our own self-worth and self-esteem that we start to believe that it's never going to happen, or it's never going, we don't deserve it. But in actual fact, we do. Sandra, it is just wonderful to hear how you've come through this and how it's now playing out in, every area of your life, I'm sure. And I do appreciate that perhaps, our time together has really been helpful. But the most important thing is that you feel really good within yourself following that moment in time. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall with the pinging happening and you seeing it. Yes, that would have been fantastic. So thanks, Sandra. And don't forget, everyone, I will have all of Sandra's details on my spiritualfitness.tv. So all you have to do is whiz over there and you can have a listen to Sandra or watch Sandra again. And there's a huge message behind this. And it's really good to watch it a few times so that you can grab hold of that message for yourself. So thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Geraldine.
And I'm sure we'll have you back on soon.
Absolutely.
That would be fantastic. Okay, bye for now.
Bye.